How it's made with SupplyDiva. Today we will be showing you how we cut one of our most popular products and top sellers, tiny metal blanks. They are cut using a progressive cutter. The results are tiny yet detailed shapes with super clean edges. This means they are perfect for designing jewelry. Watch and learn the whole process behind the tiny shapes made by SupplyDiva. This is a progressive cutter. Not many people create these cutters as they are difficult and complicated to produce. Each cutter may have up to 18 shapes at the end of long, tempered steel rods. These are cut with our designs. Below the rods is a thick plate of tempered steel. Each rod has a perfectly matching hole. The plate is where the cutting of the metal really happens. Each cutter is installed into a 12-horse-powered machine. When we install the progressive cutter into the machine, it has to be perfectly centered so the 4 outside rods that hold the whole thing together can slide up and down perfectly. The rods with our designs are rather delicate because they are so thin and tiny. This means they are prone to breakage and damage. If one breaks, we can have the shape remade and replaced, or we can decommission that shape and continue using the cutter. Due to the delicacy of the individual cutters, only 24-gauge metal can be used. Each cutter must be sprayed with WD-40 upon every use. This lubricates the cutters and ensures good contact and movement. Now we just need material to cut. We recycle all of our scrap silver left over from cutting shapes and casting. We introduce fresh fine silver as needed, borax, and a tiny bit of copper to make it sterling. All of this silver is loaded into a crucible, which sits inside a kiln. This will reach over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. While that is melting, we will arm our mold for pouring our molten silver into a bar shape. An adjustable steel mold made up of 2 L-shaped parts is secured with a vise. We lubricate the inside of the mold with recycled oil so the liquid metal cleanly slides down the mold. This recycled oil can be from automobiles or from cooking. Anything really works. Once the bar has cooled, Pedro must roll it out into 24-gauge sheet using a 10-horse-powered rolling mill. This rolling mill can be very dangerous. It will take many passes through the mill. With each pass, the metal gets wider and thinner. He will regularly check the progress with a gauge reader until the sheet is ready. The sheet must be periodically annealed to soften the metal. Then the sheet must be cut to the correct width for each cutter. Once the sheet is cut to the size of the cutter, we are ready to begin feeding the sheet into the machine. As the sheet moves along, the cutter may make multiple cuts to the same shape to give it its detail. The cutter will continuously cut grooves on the edges of the sheet metal. Thus it is able to grab the sheet and move it forward the correct distance. This ensures that each cut happens in the correct location. Now we must sort through what's been cut. There will be scrap and extra pieces cut from the edges of the sheet. These must be separated from the finished tiny shapes before they get a light tumbling to clean off the oils from the cutter and lightly smooth the edges. The finished tiny shapes are perfect. The edges are clean and free of burrs. Each one is perfectly detailed. Jewelry design becomes easy with these tiny blanks. Solder on posts for stud earrings, solder them onto a ring band and create a set of stackable rings, or solder them onto your pendants or bracelets. The copper and fine silver versions work for copper enamel and lampworking. We have also used them in our resin jewelry. We hope this video has inspired you to get crafty, and we hope you will enjoy making jewelry with our tiny shapes. Find all of these products and more at our website, SupplyDiva.com.